Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to something that might sound counterintuitive first and sort of goes against to what most people believe. But I think that Generation Z, my generation, I'm born in 1998, will become the most powerful generation to have ever existed, or at least to ever exist up until now. And I state this as a structural fact of our current civilization. When you look at us, when you study us, when you try to understand to which world we had to adapt, we're the first generation in history to have grown up with the internet. So the internet was always there for us. And for every previous generation, so millennia, X, boomers, the digital world was something they had to adopt. It was a second language to them, and they still distinguish between real life and online. But for us, there is no distinction. The digital world is our frequency. And this creates a fundamental and decisive advantage. Artificial intelligence is natural to us. While older generations debate the ethics of AI and fear its disruption, we are actively using it. We're using it to code, to learn, to design, and to study knowledge at speeds that previous generations simply could not. So basically, we operate on a frequency that is intangible for older generations and slower generations. And we're the first generation that is superhuman. And there's a second factor that defines this generation and why this generation might actually become the most powerful generation that has ever existed so far. And that is, we have grown up during a time of deep crisis. Let me explain you what I mean by this. So we grew up in a time of institutional failures. So all our institutions, all our systems were about to break down or were breaking down. So we watched the financial systems crash, we watched the political systems gridlock, we watched the education systems fail and not deliver on their promises. And that left us in a situation that stripped us of all illusions to the core. We do not trust authority anymore. Well, we do not trust authority simply because it is authority. We only trust what is most likely to be true and what leads to the improvement of us and the world. That's the second reason. And I mean, this combination, unprecedented access to knowledge and capabilities, and a total lack of faith in old structures, is the mechanism for transformation, for a fundamental change in our current systems. And we're not trying to fix the old systems, because oftentimes you just cannot fix them. What we try to do is we're preparing to replace them through building better structures. And this makes civilization's Generation Z advances. So we advance knowledge and civilization. This is what distinguishes us. And we do this because we have to, out of necessity. We are conscious architects of our own evolution, because we must be that. And humanity is still very, very young. We are only at the beginning of our potential. The chaos in the current world is proof that there's tremendous opportunity for value creation and upgrading our current operating systems, and also to upgrade our civilization to begin our true story. And to a conscious architect, a problem is not a problem. It is an opportunity. An opportunity to solve a problem and gain new and better knowledge. And we also understand that knowledge is everything we truly have. Money and status are fictions. They're not real and worthless. But knowledge is real. Substance is real. If you have enough knowledge to understand history, how we got to this place, and science to be able to solve any problem and create anything you imagine, you have power. And then because knowledge is infinite, the economy must also be infinite. This is huge. And we are moving basically away from a world with systems that are zero-sum and against the individual to a positive-sum future, to a positive-sum economy. In the old world, for someone to win, someone else needed to lose. But in the new world, in a knowledge economy, his advancement, her advancement is also your advancement. So if a teenager in India uses AI to solve or fix and cure a disease, that benefits everyone. Or build a better reusable orbital heat shield, that benefits everyone. The entire species benefits. Or if someone makes the education system obsolete, everyone benefits from this. So we're not competitors in a shrinking arena like in the old world, but we are collaborators on an expanding frontier. In this framework, problems are knowledge-generating opportunities, a source of true power. And when problems become scarce and sought after, a civilization may never decline. But what will actually happen is we create the launch pad for people to create and generate new and better knowledge that then transcends our generation and allows for the creation of better knowledge for a better civilization. And that then continues for the infinity of time. Right now, as we speak, 2026, the world is full of problems. And there are opportunities everywhere. Problems equals opportunities. And by the way, if you don't see them, then you don't have enough knowledge to see reality. Power is shifting away from centralized institutions, governments, corporations, universities, and moving toward the decentralized network of individuals. The credential of the universities or schools is dying, is no longer necessary. And the track record is rising. This is what counts in the future. It no longer matters where you went to school or what certificate you have. But the only thing that matters, and Gen Z already understands this, is what you can build. And Gen Z is actively building things right now. Gen Z is building things on GitHub, on YouTube, in their own companies. So the job somewhat is also dying, and the mission is rising. So the goal is no longer to work for a corporation for 40 years, but to solve specific problems and work on missions that either you create yourself or that you join because you find them inspiring. Great. And by the way, the old world will try to regulate this. Will try to regulate this shift because they don't understand the advancement of the systems that lead to advancement. That lead to advancement of everyone, because their minds have been programmed by the old world of winning and losing. They think that if you advance, they lose. They don't understand that the world fundamentally needs systems that allow everyone to advance. So they will try to impose permits and gatekeepers, but their days are numbered. Gen Z is already building a new future that is inevitable. And also because Gen Z is just simply playing a game that no other generation yet can play. And because these systems are built on truth, efficiency, and the fundamental understanding that knowledge is infinite, they will simply outcompete the old systems and make them obsolete. Because the relentless creation, distribution, and application of new and better knowledge always leads to the advancement of the whole.